Okay, so Maddie Collins here. This is my first time ever live, and we're just waiting for a few people to get on the call. But the purpose of today's video is to talk about this guy, the Osmo Pocket 3. I took it to Jordan recently, and I posted a video about it, and it's actually my most viewed video. So you know how YouTube does like top 1 of 10. This is like the number one most viewed video when I talked about taking this to Jordan. So yeah, we're gonna kind of dive into that today in terms of like if there's anything you want to know more about this camera. Do you own this camera? Do you own like the Pocket 2? Do you own the first version? I'd be curious to know what everyone thinks of that. And then I also just want to get into just a little bit about this community, slowly growing the channel. I've been doing it for 2 years now, and just curious to know what kind of people are following, what gear you're using right now, if there's any questions that you had currently about that for me. So if you are here, just write a comment in the chat or ask a question, and I'd be happy to get going here. And yeah, we can just we'll go off that. So what I know about this camera so far and what people have been loving about it is the gimbal features. So that's definitely the biggest thing about this is the fact that you have stabilization and slow, steady panning and things like that. For me, I haven't had like a ton of experience with gimbals, and so what's really cool is I can try like different gimbal moves on something that's like compact, and to be able to bring this to like especially traveling when it's run and gun shooting, it's hard to get stable footage even with newer cameras. So my A7 IV has active stabilization on it, and that actually works really good. But the A7 III that I have, it's just older technology, and the stabilization isn't that good, which is why having a gimbal built in is actually amazing. So, yeah, been loving that. Also, the really cool things about this camera is another one is the screen. So the screen, you can see it here. Honestly, it's super bright and I could see it totally fine in daylight, but you can switch from vertical to horizontal in like a matter of seconds. And that's really cool, specifically for content creators in this current day. So I think that's really sweet as well. A lot of people had questions about photography on this camera, and honestly, the photography is fine. I wasn't sure at first, but it does shoot raw, and I have edited the raw images on this camera, and they turned out pretty good. So to be honest, I wouldn't be buying this Pocket 3 for photo functionality, but I would definitely, if I was like a video first content creator, I think this is one of the best value for money cameras that you can pick up. Now, there's something like to do with color space. So a lot of cameras, and even some more expensive cameras like my A7 III shoots 8-bit color. Um, and this thing, this tiny little thing here shoots 10-bit, which allows for more grading, which is really cool. So you have the ability to color grade your footage and get better results. Just like if you have a unique style or unique look with your videos, the 10-bit allows you to get better color from that. So find that really cool. A downside of this, we talked about in my last video a little bit about like how fragile this camera actually is, because it is a gimbal. There's like a motorized device that actuates the camera and everything. So for the most part, it tucks away nicely, and when you just power it on, it like pops its little head out, and that's awesome. But at the end of the day, it's like this is not an action camera, and you have to be pretty careful about that. So there's that. What else can I tell you about this camera? I bought it for, I think it was $800 Canadian, and that's taxes in, so it was 719. And that didn't come with any accessories whatsoever. So there was that. And what else can I tell you about it? Oh, I kind of wish I would have got the creator combo. The creator combo in terms of accessories and stuff, I already had like a little tripod stand and things like that. But it does come with a mic that I'm really curious to know, like, when DJI is going to release this, but it's the DJI Mic 2, which is, I think, has 32-bit float audio. So that's pretty cool as well. In terms of portability, size, it's been absolutely amazing. It also has like this cool little case that you can just like put on the front of it, so it further protects the camera as well. So that's also pretty awesome. I took it to Amsterdam, did a vlog there. That's on my channel. Took it to Jordan, did a whole kind of like review, like a 1 month travel review of it, with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, if you are here, Truth Seeker, what is going on? You've been an OG of the channel for a while. Thanks for popping in. Do you own one of these Truth Seeker, or have you done any research into the Osmo Pocket 3? Just type in the chat. That's really cool. Thanks for popping in. You're the first one to comment, so I do appreciate that. And Truth Seeker, where are you from? What country? What else can I tell you guys about this camera? Honestly, the menu system too is like super easy to use. It's all touch functionality, and you can go fully manual with it. Even adjust your audio levels, which I love. And I actually just released a video talking about like a perfect pairing budget microphone for the Osmo Pocket 3. Truth Seeker owns the Pocket 1, 2, and 3 and Future. Holy smokes, this guy owns everything. That a guy. Cool. So did you find a big jump from the Osmo Pocket 2 to the Osmo Pocket 3? Just type it in the chat. Did you find, like, I know the internet is talking about like a bigger jump from the 2 to 3 than the 1 to 2. And also, why did you not sell off your 1 and 2 if you now own the 3? Do you have purposes for all of your Osmo Pockets? Curious to know that. Let's send a little heart here. Heart there. Yes, big jump from the 2 to 3. And Truth Seeker, you obviously do like vlogging content, or do you use it for real estate? I noticed this would be like an amazing real estate camera, definitely to be trying out. Pocket 2 not worth upgrading from Pocket 1. Okay, that's interesting to know. Do you own any other DJI or DJI devices? Do you own like any of the action cameras? Hey, what's going on, Squid Paws? Dominican Republic, let's go. Very cool. I travel a lot, and I've yet to be to the Dominican, but yeah, thanks for popping in, Squid Paws. Do you own the Pocket 3 or any DJI devices? Maybe a drone, maybe an action camera. Let's give Squid Paws a little something there. Celebration from the Dominican Republic. So cool, man. Yeah, we are talking about this camera, and honestly, I've absolutely loved it. To me, it's definitely worth the investment if you're video first and you're just like, you can kind of get high quality content out of it. It's like definitely like a mid gap. It's between, I'm shooting on an A7 IV right now, and then iPhone. It's somewhere in between, which I think is really cool. And it has live streaming options. So what we're doing right now, I could easily be streaming off of the Osmo Pocket 3 and get really good results as well. And it's like really intuitive to just plug in and have it go. So what do you got here? Let's catch up with the chat. So I keep both. Pocket 1 is narrow view. Oh, interesting. I wonder what focal length that is. I'll have to look it up. And better for filming in front. Pocket 2 is good for self vlogging. Cool. And I'm interested, Truth Seeker. This one has the ability. So you see the camera in the front view here, and then you can just auto rotate it with like a 3-tap. I'm curious to know if you can do that on the 1 and 2 as well. So maybe you can fill me in on that. And Squid Paws, that's sick. You have the Pocket 3 and the Mavic Air 2. Okay, so we're similar there, Squid Paws. I have the, as you see, the Pocket 3, but I have the Air 2S, and I noticed that the bigger sensor on the Air 2S was better in low light conditions for me, specifically when I'm filming at like sunrise and sunset. So yeah, that's pretty cool to know. Truth Seeker also owns Action One and the GoPro. Okay, very cool. And which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Action or the GoPro? For me, I haven't upgraded my GoPro in forever. The only time I use it is in water, and I did my free diving certificate in Mexico recently, so it was the GoPro Hero 7. So the thing is so dated, but it honestly does the trick, and I feel like I can color grade the footage to put in like a cinematic show reel or any type of video I do. So I don't fully need an upgrade, I think, for my GoPro yet, but I am loving stuff like this. Yeah. Truth Seeker GoPro 9, let's go. That's awesome. And you prefer the Action One, more dependable. GoPro crashes a lot, so that's just, you just mean in the software and things like that. Yeah, I also find like the touchscreen on my 7 is like, I don't know, kind of laggy, which I don't love, but GoPros to me serve such a specific function, and if that's like your niche of content creation, then I totally get it. And the same thing goes for this. Like this is scary because it's super fragile. So yeah, honestly, I've been incorporating it in my travel workflow and I like it for that. But if I'm not traveling, I haven't found that I use it too much. And I actually just picked up a new camera, a B cam, and it's the A7 III. So like I do find that, yeah, this is small and compact, but if I want to get the best quality possible if I own the cameras, you know? So which is why I often bring out the A7 IV. So yeah, what other cameras do you guys have? You guys shoot Sony, shoot Canon, Nikon, maybe Fuji. Actually, Fuji has like some crazy cameras out right now, which is really cool. And like the, what was it? X100V blew up the internet, and I heard that the X100V successor will be coming out in like quarter 1 of this year. So I find that pretty cool. Squid Paws. What other cameras do you have? I've been trying with film. Like I have like this, what is it? Olympus, like this old Olympus, and I think a Minolta. I ordered some cameras from Japan recently, and I've just been like trying like disposable film cameras, and that's kind of cool. Or if you have any other questions, either Truth Seeker or Squid Paws, just put it in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. But yeah, what brand do you shoot? I'll put that in the chat. What brand do you shoot? And we'll say other than DJI, because I know you guys have DJI products, and go Pro. There we go. We'll just give you guys a second there. And again, this is my first live stream ever, so it's cool. I wasn't sure if anyone was gonna show, so I appreciate you guys being here for sure. Prefer Action. Yeah, honestly, if you own the Action One, Truth Seeker, and Action Two, there could be some value on the used market for people who, you know, need a camera that has like a built-in gimbal on it, and like that fluid motion is like the most important to them. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, Truth Seeker, you're a king, dude. So you got the R6 II, which I've always wanted to try. The Canon R10, that's actually a good value camera for sure, but I've yet to do it or use it, sorry. The ZV, the heart's in the way, but ZV-E10, I'm assuming. Insta360, 1-inch 360, Insta360. That's unreal. And Truth Seeker, do you have a YouTube channel? I'm going to check right now. You should be posting content, dude. Because that's actually unreal. I'd love to check out some of your cameras and actually do some reviews on them, because that's sick. Oh, you might have said actually. Oh yeah, it says ZV1, and that's really cool too, because I saw a ZV1 today for about $375 on just Facebook Marketplace, and I've also owned one of those cameras too. So the one, again, for video first creators, I think is just such a good value. Has a built-in lens, and yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, True Seeker, like what you use mostly out of like all those cameras, the R6, the R10, ZV-1, Insta 360. Um, yeah, what's your like go-to camera? And it's kind of crazy you have so many cameras. I've been slowly trying to sell off mine and refine what I actually use and then sell the ones that I don't. But yeah, the ZV-1's awesome. And I also heard this year the ZV-E10, which was like a really successful camera. The Mark II will be coming out this year as well, and like I think in quarter 1, so in the coming months. And that's a camera that I really want to pick up, and I'm excited to see what comes of that. So, um, Squid Paws. Okay, nice to know that you're with me on the GoPro. Like the necessity of a GoPro is so important if you're in that niche, right? If I was like teaching surf lessons in Hawaii or something, you know what I mean? Or that was just a big passion of mine. Or like I didn't care about like I just needed a rugged camera. That GoPro would be like so much more used, but right now it collects dust for me. What does Squid Paws say? I have the 7 and the 9, but honestly, I grab my 7 more, which is interesting when I go surfing. Oh, you also surf? Awesome. I have the ZV-1, and then my pride and joy, the A7 IV. Let's go. And that's actually what kind of like catapulted my channel a little bit. Like I think I got my A7 IV around 500 subscribers, and I'm like slowly approaching like 3,000. So that's kind of cool. Like honestly, it's taught me so much, just the capabilities of this camera. So the difference between 8-bit and 10-bit, this live streaming feature, I literally plugged in my A7 IV to my computer, and I have like I have pretty solid video here. Like I don't think it's that bad at all. So we're streaming at 4K 30. Oh no, sorry, 1080p 30 frames per second right now. And yeah, this I owe my YouTube channel to this camera so far. So I'm happy to know that you have the A7 IV. And what kind of content do you mostly shoot, Squid Paws? Because the A7 IV is like so good for photography, and like other than the crop at 4K 60, I think it's a monster for video. I started shooting weddings a lot with this thing, and it didn't overheat in like 8-hour, 9-hour sessions. Mind you, it was like on and off sporadically, but I was worried about the overheating, and this thing just does unreal for video. And so I shoot with another girl. I send her the footage, and she's blown away with it. So I think a lot of clients wouldn't know that we're using the A7 IV instead of like the S3. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. Good to know you surf, Squid Paws. Good to know that the 7's doing the trick for you, because you can find those so cheap. And also that was the GoPro 7 was the first one to introduce like that stabilization, hyper smooth, I think it's called. So it's like gimbal like footage, but it's all through software. Whereas something like this, the Pocket 3 actually has like, yeah, motorized gimbal like built into it. But the software is getting really good. Like it started good on the 7 and it's only getting better. So that's cool. I see there's 2 more people in the chat. So if we're just talking right now, what cameras you own, do you own the Osmo Pocket 3 yet? Is it something that you're looking at picking up? So far, Truth Seeker weighed in, and then also Squid Paws from the Dominican Republic. So that's really cool. And yeah, if you are in the chat, just drop what kind of cameras you've been using. We've been talking drones a little bit. We've been talking like Sony cameras. Truth Seeker, who has been like part of the channel for so long. I've seen this guy since I was, I don't know, at like 2, 3, 400 subs. So mad respect to Truth Seeker for being here. But he seemingly has like all the cameras more than me: Canon, Sony, GoPro, all that kind of stuff. So, oh, let's go. We got a new person, and Draken Kun Gaming. Love from the Philippines. I've been there 4 times. I absolutely love the Philippines. Probably my favorite spot is Coron and El Nido in Palawan, but I also had some like crazy adventures in like Cebu. And it was like canyoneering and stuff like that. So I definitely brought my GoPro for that, which was super cool. So thanks for checking in, Draken Kun Gaming. And dude, Philippines, amazing. I love the people and I love the landscape. The water is unreal. But literally, I've been to a lot of countries and the Philippines, like the sweetest people on earth. So mad respect. Also, Draken Kun Gaming. I'm assuming you have like a gaming channel or you're into that. What kind of gear do you have? Like, what cameras are you using currently for your current setup? You can drop it in there. Squid Paws. Actually, South African, that's number 1 on my bucket list of countries I wanna go to this year, so I do wanna go to South Africa, but working in the Dominican Republic for the next 3 months, dude, very, very cool. Sounds like you live a pretty cool lifestyle. Curious to know if any of you guys have ever been to Canada, because it's pretty cool here, and if you don't know my story, I lived in Shanghai, China, for the last 8 years. I moved back to Canada. I've been here for like a year and a half now. And I kind of started my YouTube journey while I was in mainland China. I was there teaching photography and also there teaching physical education. So, like gym, sports, PE class. So, yeah. And then, like, I'm slowly transitioning into like this content creator, filmmaker, YouTuber career. And it's actually been like a nice shift, but I still also teach a little bit. Unfortunately, not as much photography as I like, but I teach a lot of sports again. So that's awesome. All right. So yeah, I got to get to South Africa and very cool, Squid Paws. Be curious to know, Squid Paws, what you're doing in the Dominican Republic for work. So very cool. Let's move on. Draken Kun Gaming, my Filipino. Glad you liked Palawan, dude. Osmo 3 is almost perfect for travel. Yes, definitely. I fully agree. I'd be curious to know if you saw I posted on my channel. I took it to the Middle East a couple months ago when it first came out, and that's like the most viewed video on my channel. So I don't know if you want to go check that out, but it really is like I can't think of if I want quality and convenience, I can't think of a better camera. And like in my video, I talked a little bit about the price of this guy because honestly, I want to say it's like 600 US dollars if you don't get the creator combo or just under, which is still like a decent amount of money. But the fact that it's like an all in one solution, you don't need to buy lenses. You don't necessarily need to buy microphones. I find the built in mic on this thing is pretty good, but it is even better, especially if you're filming from a distance, to get some like cheap $100 Amazon mics. So, two brands I've been trying with it is Hollyland and Boya. They've been sending me some microphones through the channel. So I've been testing those out, and they're pretty cool. I've been putting some stuff on the channel about those microphones as well. But yeah, the 10-bit video on this camera, it's blown me away. Some people say if I put it next to my A7 IV, they're like hard pressed to tell the difference. And I can honestly say in certain situations, if the lighting is right, then yeah, for sure. I still don't have NDs for it. So I got to get ND filters for it. And I want this thing to be a little bit more like available. Yeah. So right now in Canada, I can't pick it up because it's out of stock, but like I want the creator combo. And so I can get the DJI mic too. Let's go back to the chat here. What glad you like Palawan. Good. Draken also says, I actually use the A7 III and Tamron 28 to 75 G2, but just for my streaming. Okay, very cool. So, Draken, what's really cool is about a few weeks ago, I needed a B cam for when I shoot weddings and stuff. So I picked up the A7 III too. Right now, I'm shooting on the Tamron 17 to 28, which I absolutely love. It's great for like in the studio, and I can just kind of like mess around with the focal lengths and stuff, which is kind of nice. I don't know. It works for me, but that's a powerful combo. Mad respect on that. Sounds like you have a lot of cameras too, man. Um, Type in the chat. Like I see there's a few new people here. So yeah, there's gonna be yeah, just waiting on a few more people. Thanks for the like. I got a like, mad respect. Hit that like button if you haven't, because this is my first stream ever. And what else do we got? Interesting story. Hey, respect, Squid Paws. I'm usually access rope technician, and here in Dominican Republic doing structural inspection on ships to shore container cranes. Okay, dude, I don't know much about that squid pause, but sounds like you have a pretty cool story too. So rope access technician and structural inspection. That's really awesome. So squid paws, that's a cool story. It's nice to know you have like a main hustle. What do you use your cameras for typically? And is it just like your surfing content? Do you do travel content? I'll have to check out your channel after this stream, but I do appreciate you being here and being active in the chat. So if anyone else is in here, we are talking currently about like the gear specific questions. Maybe you have some questions for me. I do have a lot of lenses, mostly Sony, but I do own a Canon, like old T6i right now. I'm gonna do a video on that really soon. I also have a like the cheapest drone you can buy from DJI, which is the Air no, which is the DJI SE2. So I'm also doing a video on that, and then I'm gonna do a video on the A7 III in 2024. And that'll be my next video coming out next week. So yeah, I appreciate you guys like being here and supporting the channel. So that's really cool. And now we're up to 3 likes. Let's go. Again, this is my first ever live. So I was sweating at first because I was talking to 0 people for 5 minutes. So I appreciate if you're here right now and engaging in the chat because that's super cool. And yeah, thanks guys. What else do we got? Jack and Kun Gaming. Um, that's that's only my gear. Well, you have a lot anyways. But I'm no longer shooting. I'm actually a US based wedding video editor now. Okay, that's super cool. And honestly, Draken, I wonder if you can help out Canadians as well on your platform. I don't know if you use Fiverr or whatever, but when I shoot my weddings, I am looking for an editor as well. So I'd love to connect with you and maybe talk about some potential work there. That would actually be really cool. Used to be a wedding videographer here in the Philippines, but there's too much discrepancy in my payments. Yes, this is the hardest part about me shifting to like the filmmaking, videography, photographer job. As a creator, I find some months I make enough to make a living, and other months I don't. So that's why I do need to supplement it with teaching right now. But one of my goals this year is to get to a point where I'm self-sufficient and I can pay the bills, pay my rent, pay my gas, car insurance, cell phone bill, all that just through what I do now. And so some revenue streams for me is, yeah, there's like AdSense revenue, but like that doesn't pay a lot at all. I also sell my stock footage. So when I travel, I take my drone footage, I sell it to a platform called Black Box, and then they sell it to other creators. And that's an okay source of money, but often I'm not making a ton from that either. But then client work, if I get I'm shooting for clients right now, and like an average level contract for me would be like $1,500, and that's Canadian, so it's more like 1,200 US dollars for one job, and that would take me 3-4 days. But like there's just not enough consistency yet, because like it's hard to break into this industry, and it's saturated, and it's hard to market yourself. So I completely get that. It's like we buy all this gear, but it's like, what are we actually using it for, and for me it's travel. But when I'm not using it for travel, I need to start like somehow paying off all these purchases, and that's where client work comes in. So yeah, I hope this YouTube journey continues, and I can continue to monetize it. So what else do we got here? Um, Wedding, yeah. Again, reach out, because like I would love to check out your work and have you edit some videos for me. So actually, a girl that I was shooting weddings with all summer video, she actually hires out all of her video editing as well, which is why I'm looking for a good video editor. So yeah, Draken will link. Squid Paws. Cameras and making videos is more like a hobby to document your travels, surfing, and some work stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's super cool. I'm curious if anyone in here like has ever have you ever been like reached out to shoot like an engagement shoot, wedding, or have a company or like a local business ask you to, they've seen you out with your camera, they ask you what you do with it. Because for me, I find the more I have my camera out, the more I tell people what I do, those networking opportunities definitely allow me to make a little bit more money and land a few more contracts. So that's really cool. What else do I got? A few more questions before I sign off here. We've been on for 30 minutes already, which is awesome. My goal was to at least have one person in this chat and to do it for 15 minutes. So we've doubled that and we got 5 people. We got 3 likes. So thank you all. Probably do another 10, 15 minutes here. Your next question is, um, oh yeah. What topics would you like to see this channel cover a little bit more, or not even this channel, but like in general, what would you be interested in seeing on YouTube if you were just scrolling on your homepage? What's a video I could make that you'd be like, oh yeah, that perfectly aligns with me. So there's one question for you. And then there are some more like Sony cameras coming out this year. So that ZV E10 II. So like what features would you like to see in that? I know 2 people in the chat have the ZV-1, which is really cool. It doesn't have that interchangeable lens. But like what's the most value? Here's another question for you. What's the most valuable um, lens or camera feature that would be for like your style of content? Because yeah, this is great. Oh, up to 4 likes. Mad respect. This is so cool, guys. I love connecting with my audience, and I've been seeing everyone like, engage a little bit more in the comment section, and I was wondering how a live stream would go, and this is just really cool to have my first one out there and just continue doing this and growing the community. So, yeah, appreciate you being here. 5 likes, 7 people. Like this is better than I was expecting. So, if you just tuned in, we were talking about camera gear, what you specifically own, or if you have any questions for me on, as the title says, the DJI Pocket 3, my use cases for it. A big one in that video I posted when I took it to the Middle East in the desert, they were talking about like sand. Did you get like sand in like the gimbal area? Like, was I worried about that? To be honest, I didn't even think about it for a second, and it was completely fine. So 4 days in the desert, and it just like threw it in my bag in and out. But like that case that comes with the Osmo Pocket 3 does a really good job of protecting it, even though this is a fragile camera. So yeah, um, just sent me a message on Instagram. Okay, awesome. We'll connect on there for sure. And I'd love to see just like a couple videos that you've edited for your wedding stuff. So hey, there we go. We got a bubble like. I like that. Keep it up, brother. You deserve a sub, my man. Hey, appreciate you. Fun photo. Welcome to the chat. This is cool. We got someone else. So, have you been able to live stream with it? I have the Pocket 3, Osmo Action, and Nikon Z8. Oh, super cool. What drew you to the Nikon Z8? Fun photo. And also, where are you from? If you could answer those 2 questions in the chat for me, that'd be amazing. And then, oh, I got this birthday balloons. Birthday balloons. Have you been able to live stream? Yes. So maybe next time that I live stream, I'll actually plug this guy in because it does a pretty good job. Not as good as my A7 IV, but again, like the plug and play functionality is for me. I don't like having extra software for my cameras to live stream. To me, like reduce the friction on like how hard it is to actually like set up. So when I plug this in for live streaming, a little notification comes up on the screen. You tap it, it gives you like a timer, like 2 seconds to tap it. I click live stream and we're good to go. So that's super cool. And it's actually the same as my A7 IV. It's like you turn on your A7 IV, that USB-C is connected directly to my Mac. And then again, you're good to go. So the other thing with these is like they're both the Osmo Pocket 3 is like such high quality because that bigger sensor in it that if your lighting is right in your studio, you are going to get like really good live streaming to the point where people will notice and they'll be like, wait a second, that's not your webcam, that's not your smartphone, there's something going on here. And part of that is like the shallow depth of field, or I should say like the background separation that this camera offers. The bigger sensor size that you have on your camera, the better background separation you're going to get. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Fun photo. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Fun photo. Yeah, good to know you have the Pocket 3. Osmo Action, That's pretty cool. I actually want to try those action cams. We were talking about GoPros a little bit earlier, and I have the Hero 7, which is really dated. But like honestly, I want to know, like, I should watch a video on this, but like what is like the difference between like these DJI action cams the and then the GoPro ones, you know what I mean? But yeah, my GoPro Hero 7 serves its function. We talked about that a little bit. Fun photo. Mostly Virginia area. Okay, so American, but currently in Ohio. Right on. You've been with Nikon for a long time. I would assume then that you started out as like photography focused if you've been with Nikon for a long time, but that's just an assumption. And I use it to shoot weddings. It had a bunch of gear. Hold on one second. I used it to shoot weddings and had a bunch of gear, then did a pivot to work on more small business. Okay, that's super cool. Love that. Really appreciate it. And oh my gosh, the first channel, super like from Squid Paws, dude, the man. That's kind of cool, man. I really appreciate you. I to be honest, I don't know the currency conversion of ZAR, but dude, just thank you for the love. I appreciate that so much. Um, let's read what Squid Paws says here. So let's go. ND filters really interest me. Yeah, for real. I'm fascinated how you can control the motion blur in your videos, especially in time lapses. Squid Paws. Yes, that's actually a really good point. So for me, when I was first understanding like ND filters, I thought they were only for video. So I was just like, oh yeah, you get the natural motion blur. So what they say is like if you put your hand in front of your face and go back and forth, you see motion blur like our common eyes would. And to replicate that in a camera, you need to reduce your shutter speed. And a lot of you guys know this, right? So you screw on an ND filter, you stop the amount of light that comes into the camera, and you get that natural motion blur. So that's super cool. ND filters definitely fascinate me too. But then I realized it's like, wait a second, why do photographers use them? And why do they need a higher stop ND filter? And I'm like, oh, that's because like you look at those waterfall pictures, and when I take pictures of waterfalls without an ND, it's just like it looks really like sharp and crisp, you know, which is I guess what you don't want in landscape pictures because a lot of photographers will use NDs and then use it as like a time lapse, right? And then you get like a really soft looking waterfall. It looks fake to be honest, but it has like I don't know, it looks kind of cool. It has like a creative look that a lot of people do enjoy. So yeah, I use my NDs. I have a variable ND, and I've actually linked it in the description if you guys want to pick it up. It's literally 43 Canadian dollars, which is like 30 US dollars. It's a variable ND. I take it traveling everywhere, and I think it's by the brand JJC. But I looked on Amazon, and there's like a few left. So it's like a crazy deal. If you're looking for a variable ND filter, it's in the description below. It says like my favorite ND, and it's like 43 bucks or something. So that's cool. Appreciate you, Squid Paws. That's awesome. Control the motion blur. Once you learn that Squid Paws, it really is cool. Like just the effect of NDs and like how powerful they can be. And another thing is, sorry, my battery's gonna die here on my phone. But another thing is filters in general. Right now, I'm using like an eighth stop pro mist filter, and it just gives me like a softer, more cinematic look, specifically in the background with that light, and then also like the roll off of my key light on my face, which is cool too. um it's not much, man, but it's a pleasure. Thanks, Squid Paws. Dude, honestly, it's like I'm not doing this for the money. So I just it shows me that you support the channel and you appreciate and if I can, you know, talk to one person and connect with one person through this YouTube journey, that's it just means the world to me. So I do appreciate that. Yes, I got a set of Tiffin ND and PL for the Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm working on a video to test them. Okay, super cool. And Squid Paws, do you also have YouTube? Would you be posting a video on YouTube about your experiences? Because I don't have the NDs for this camera, I am looking for, because the DJI ones were sold out for the Osmo Pocket 3 for so long. I haven't looked to see if they're available yet, but I'd be curious to know if Tiffin's actually the better way to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, Squid Paws has YouTube. Okay, if I'm not subbed already, I'm gonna hit you back for sure, and do let me know how those the Tiffin combo goes, because a circular polarizer. We were talking about filters. That's another good one. It cuts glare off, things like bottles, like cars, off water. And it can actually work wonders too. So having for the Osmo Pocket 3, that combo would be good. And Squid Paws, how much did you spend for the Tiffin, ND, and PL filters? I'd be curious to know that as well. Raphael, welcome to the chat. Let's go. We got a new one. Raphael, would Pocket 3 be able to handle concert music, and how loud music, bass, and heavy at times? So maybe the community can chime in on this a little bit, but I'd be wary of that. But the positive thing is that this thing accepts USB-C mics, and it'd be so easy for you, if you want like the best possible quality, and to be able to just like adjust your levels a little bit more. Like I have something like the Rode Video Mic NTG that's on top of my camera right now. It's like a shotgun. If you could find a unique way to mount like a nicer mic onto your Osmo Pocket 3, that would be your best option. Because what's going to happen in that concert, like you said, the bass depends how close you are to the actual performance, which this thing doesn't have the best zoom. So you might want to be closer to the action. And then by doing that, now your audio levels are just like raised a lot. So you do have like a audio manual dial where you can like really drop that down, or you might have a microphone that also allows you to manually control, the output. So yeah, Raphael, I would say if the goal is to record the best possible audio, I wouldn't use the internal mic, even though it's pretty good if you're just vlogging, but that's taxing on the internal. So buy a buy a mid-level microphone. You can spend 50 to $100 on a mic, and then again, get creative on how you're going to mount that onto the Osmo Pocket 3. And I think in the low light performance, because you're going to be in a concert as well, I think this thing would handle it fine because of that bigger sensor size. And it does have like a low light video mode, which you probably know as well. So I think you could make this work for concerts, to be honest. And thanks for the question, Raphael. I appreciate that. Squid Paws, I did an unboxing for it a few days ago. Okay, I'll definitely go check that out, because yeah, that's something that I'm looking into. So Squid Paws bought an ND set for his Osmo Pocket 3, ND 8, 16, 32. He got it from B&H, and had it sent to the Dominican Republic. Link is in my video description. So I will affiliate link you, buddy, if I do end up picking those up. And it was 69 US dollars, which is actually not terrible. Why? Because Tiffin, I actually do trust that brand, and they do make they're known for making pretty good filters. So yeah, them. Polar Pro, I wonder if they make one yet for the Osmo Pocket 3, but that's what a lot of people are asking right now, is like, what ND filters should I pick up for the Osmo Pocket 3, because for so long the DJI ones weren't available. So yeah, that's awesome. Anything else? Any other questions for me about the gear I use? I'm gonna have to sign off here in let's say the next 10 minutes. But if there's anything else, I've really enjoyed my first ever live stream and having you guys jump on here. It's honestly a pleasure to just like be a part of my own community and see who's out there, and show that like the work that I'm actually putting out there is like viewed by some people and valued. And it's nice to know that other people are doing what I'm doing. That's the biggest thing. It's like I respect people who just go out of their way, have the passion of like photography, videography, try new things, because it is fun, even if it's just a hobby and you don't plan to ever make money at this. It's cool to have a community of people to just kind of share gear with. So that's awesome. Squid Paws, B&H have the Polar Pro as well. Okay, so I'm gonna have to compare those two. But if I go the Tiffin, then I'm definitely gonna send you an affiliate purchase. So that's awesome. Squid Paws, last question: Which country are you traveling to next? Okay, so I'm shooting a wedding photography in um, in Scotland. So in Edinburgh in March. So January, February, March. So it's actually coming up in the next couple months. Been contracted to go shoot a wedding out there. It's all photography, and I'm excited for that because I've never been to Edinburgh, never been to Scotland. I have been to Ireland, but Scotland's going to be like new and unique for me. And then I also am going to, and I'll do a video. I'll document both those trips, but my next one after that is I'm going to Italy, and that's to Sardinia on a creators trip with a bunch of other like photographers, videographers. If you followed me on different platforms, you might see that like last year I went to Indonesia and went to Jordan and went to Greece with some other creators. Those are creators that like we're meeting right now for the first time. I've met on the internet and mostly through Instagram. So I probably met like 15 to 20 other creators, some of them full time, some of them part time last year, and we ended up traveling together. Some of those are brand sponsored, and other ones is just like, you know what, let's learn from each other, and it's like just networking and meeting people in the industry. So thanks for the question. To summarize your answer, Scotland and Italy this year, and then yeah, we'll see what happens after that. But that's great. Looking forward to the videos. Yeah, for sure, man. And I'm looking forward to following you and checking out, some of the content, specifically that the TIFF and filter stuff. So that's good. So I see 4 people are still in the chat. We've been live for 45 minutes and 6 likes. This is cool. I'm glad I kept going because I almost shut this thing off when we were at 5 minutes and no I was just talking to myself. So this is super cool, and I'm gonna have to start live streaming more. My goal, if there's enough interest, I do want to get these out weekly. Like if every Friday at 5, or if there's like a better time for my audience. One time a week, one set time, and then just kind of go from there. That would be Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Because again, growing this community, I never would have heard from people like Raphael, Squid Paws, Fun Photo, Draken Kun Gaming. So I appreciate you all like dropping into the chat and just saying what's up. We got 5 people in here now. If anyone, thanks, Truth Seeker. Yeah, I will. I'll continue going with this YouTube journey because I honestly enjoy it, and you know I want to make it full time. So we'll see. We'll see where that all goes. But I just got to keep on doing stuff like this, getting outside of my comfort zone, and yeah, going from there. So, any last questions? Now would be the time. I got another 5 minutes. What do we got here? Thank you for the info provided. It is much appreciated. Of course, Raphael. Anything else, you can hit me on Instagram. And to find that, you can just go to my profile, hit Instagram, shoot me a DM, and I always like sending voice notes back. So anytime you guys have questions, like any specific things about filters, or like you said, Raphael, like the audio on the Osmo Pocket 3, any microphone recommendations that you need, hit me up and a DM, and I'll send you a voice message back. So that's great. Squid Paws, awesome to connect, Maddie. Wishing you only success here on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate the love. That's very kind of you, and you as well, Squid Paws. So it's really cool to meet other YouTubers too. It's like it's fun to meet people who have this common interest and passion in gear, but it's actually really cool also to meet like fellow YouTubers because I also want to start collaborating more this year with other YouTubers. So lot to digest here, and met a lot of new cool people. So I think we're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for being a part of my first ever live stream, and so nice connecting with everyone. Hope you're enjoying the Osmo Pocket 3, and we'll talk very soon. All the best. Maddie out. Peace.